Hello, everybody. Hi. Hey, Sarah. She's like, holy cow, I made it on time to staff meeting. I love it. I love it. Hello and welcome to Wednesday Live here on the Victoria Marie YouTube channel. I'm Victoria. We're going to hang out for just a second to have some more people pop on for today's live. Hope you were doing well. We're going to be playing around with the Cricut today, electronic die cutting machine. Or electronic cutting machine. I should say it doesn't use dies, but it's electronic cutting machine. So I'm going to hang out, have some more people pop on. Make sure that if you like today's live, that you give it a thumbs up. That lets YouTube know that you enjoy the content and help support the channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe as well when you do click the bell. That way YouTube will notify you each and every time I go live or post content here to the channel. So we're going to hang out for a second. Let some folks pop in here in just a moment. Hello, hello. Barb's here. We've got folks that are on time to our staff meeting. That's what we've dubbed it, our staff meeting. I have a couple of announcements to make. One includes this that you're seeing me wear today, so hang out for that. Hey, Mary, what's going on? So today's live, as I mentioned last week, and I also talked about a little bit on my blog and whatnot, is I'm going to start using lives as a way for me to experiment in real time, because I think sometimes when you watch the videos of folks that are professional designers, whether it's scrapbooking or some type of art or whatnot, that we make it look really easy sometimes once we've edited and spliced stuff out. But we too go through some learning curves when it comes to learning some new stuff. And so I thought Wednesdays would be a really great opportunity for me to play around with some things and take you along on the adventure. So you can see that, I too have a learning curve when it comes to certain stuff, trying out new techniques, new products, that type of thing. I have a real fun video one of our lives, I'm going to be sharing a really cool mixed media subscription kit. So I'll be, playing with that. I have a couple other things too, some card making stuff. I got all kinds of stuff coming down the pike for our lives. So stay tuned for that. Hello, everyone who's just joined us. So glad that you are here. Barb says, I love that shirt. Well, I'm going to be telling you more about this shirt and some other things that are going to be available to you this weekend. So we're going to hang out and see who else joins us today. Hey, Melissa, what's going on? So glad you're here. Let me know in the comment section, how is your Wednesday going so far? And did you know that this weekend is a national scrapbook, or I should say international scrapbook day? This weekend, it's the first weekend every May. So if you don't have any plans to scrapbook, then I hope that you do. I am going to be talking about what my plans are, things I'm going to be sharing with you guys this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I don't know. Let me know if you have plans for National Scrapbook Day, International Scrapbook Day, or if this is the first time you've ever heard of such a thing. Or if you're just going to be hanging out and chilling, maybe you have other plans. Let me know what you're going to be doing this weekend. Carrie says, take my money now. I'm going to be talking about this shirt here in just a second. Oh, goodness. So excited to hear about your merch. I'm very excited. This has been a long time coming. So it's finally happening. Thank goodness it's finally happening. So glad to see everyone here. I hope that you are doing well. Yeah, this is thumbs up. Yes, please give us a thumbs up. Excited to hear about the merch. I'm so excited to share it with you guys. So cool. Couple of things as we're getting started, some housekeeping things. If you haven't already subscribed to the Victoria Marie e-newsletter and you're new around these parts, make sure you do. That's a great way to keep up with what's going on. I try to post a newsletter, send out a newsletter every Friday. So make sure that you look out for that. So sign up. It's completely free. And I, of course, like to share all the ins and outs of what's going on with Victoria Marie Designs. It's the best way to keep up with stuff. And the reason being, because I know some people are like, oh, newsletter, more email, blah, blah, blah. If you rely solely on social media to keep up with the creatives that you follow, 9 times out of 10, you may not be getting the full picture, because social media platforms like Instagram and Facebook are only going to show you so much at any given time. And sometimes there are creatives that I follow that I don't see their content for weeks because it's not being pushed out to me by these platforms. But if you follow your favorite creatives' blog and you sign up for their newsletter, that is by far the best way to stay up to date with what they're doing. So I'm actually going to be talking about that in a blog post in a couple of weeks, of why it's so important, why blogs are not dead, and why it's so important that you support other creatives. on their blogs or websites, and also subscribing to their newsletters, because that's a way to stay connected. Not sure what you're doing. Not sure if I'm doing anything for NSD, says Deb. Lauren says, want to channel my inner Victoria and scrap with my favorite snackies, coffee, and Disney Plus. That sounds amazing. Hey, Dee Dee, what's going on? So glad that you're here. So glad that you're here. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this second announcement. So first, subscribe to the e-newsletter. Second announcement, you may be noticing that I'm wearing this awesome shirt that says "Scrapbook Like a Boss." So Victoria Marie merch is launching this weekend during National Scrapbook Day. I'm going to be sending out a email via my newsletter. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that. I'm going to be posting to my blog to let you know how you can get in on this merch. This is the first design. There'll be another design coming out in the fall. And we have a lot of cool things that are coming your way. So in addition to the t-shirt that you can get, look at that, right? Scrapbook Like a Boss. So in addition to the t-shirt, I will also have, for those of you who love totes, I love a tote. I know some people are tired of totes. They've got plenty of totes, but you know what? I like them because it forces me to use them. And look at that. Look at that, right? It's so cool. So you can be stylish with your Scrapbook Like a Boss tote. You can carry your little supplies in here, go to the little crop up the street, take this shopping with you, put your little stuff in. It's reusable, right? We're reducing plastics. Why not? So, look at that. That's cool. But that's not all. I sound like a salesperson. But that's not all. Wait, folks, that's not all. Then there will be mugs, stickers. I think I have a cell phone case with this graphic on here. The t-shirt, the tote. It's going to be fantastic. And my favorite thing, which won't be available this weekend because we have to do a pre-order on this, and I'll tell you why here in a second. But my favorite thing is the apron. I absolutely love aprons. And this is probably by far, this is adjustable strap, and it adjusts right here when you tie it. You tie it like this, right? Oh, but wait, there's more. I know I have so many totes, I can use more. But for those of you who like aprons, I wear an apron around here a lot, particularly when I'm working with mixed media products and that type of thing. My daughter and I wear aprons. There will be an apron. The apron's going to be pre-order. We're having to get this from a different vendor, from the one that we're using for the t-shirts and stuff, because the vendor we're using for the t-shirts and the totes don't offer this apron, and I like this apron. So this will be shipped directly from Victoria Marie headquarters once it's available. So the way it'll work is, once we've established the vendor, we will go ahead and take a pre-order so we know how many to order. And I'll probably do pre-orders on these a quarter or so, something like that, every quarter. So you can pre-order your apron. It's one size fits all. We are going to try our hardest to ship internationally. We're going to try our hardest to find the best shipping rates, but shipping is expensive right now. I'm just going to let you know that. So this will be pre-order, and it'll be shipped directly from me. Now, the t-shirt, the tote, the mug, and that type of thing is all hosted on a merch site called Spring. They used to be called Teespring, but now they're called Spring. So you'll be able to order the t-shirt, mug, the sticker, the tote from Spring, and it'll be shipped directly from them to you with the Victoria Marie Scrap Boss logo or the graphic on it, okay? The apron's the only thing we're doing special order, so stay tuned for that. Once we get that all tied up, what we're gonna do is do pre-order. You'll have time to pre-order. Then when it comes in, then we'll do our shipping phase. And so we'll make sure, when I say we, it's me and Aubrey. Aubrey is taking care of merch for us. So make sure that you stay tuned for that if you're interested in the apron, and we'll try to offer this at least once a quarter as a pre-order item until we find a vendor that can carry everything that we want for the merch. So look out for that. Aprons to come. But what will be available this weekend, hold on, let me take it off for you because that didn't sound weird. But what will be available is the t-shirt and the tote. And there's a coffee mug, there's a sticker. In fact, I'm not quite sure where I did with my sticker. The sticker is going to be slightly smaller than what I showed on Instagram a few weeks ago. And I believe there's a cell phone case too. I need to check and see. So make sure you get your Victoria Marie. The initial merch drops this weekend. This is what you're going to do. You're going to go down to my description here for this live, and you're going to look for the link to sign up for my e-newsletter. Okay, sign up for the e-newsletter. Make sure you're following me on my blog. Make sure you're following me on my socials so that when I send out that information, I post that information, then you'll be able to get in on that. We're going to be offering 10% off for a limited time on the merch. So you'll have a coupon code, the whole nine. So stay tuned. That information is going to be posted very quickly this week, and you'll be able to get in on that this weekend for National Scrapbook Day. And we'll run the discount code into the 15th of the month. Now, someone asked, is there lids on the mugs? No, it's a standard coffee mug, so it doesn't have a lid on it, but we'll look at other options. We'll see what spring has available for those of you who like lids on your cups. I need the apron. When will you announce the apron? As soon as we're able to get once we confirm a vendor, we hope to be able to get that apron out at least for pre-order in June, by June. That's our goal, is to get it by June. The t-shirt does come in other colors. I can't remember what colors this particular shirt comes in. They limit the colors because of the graphic design. If it doesn't look good or the graphic doesn't show up, then spring will let you know that the color's not available for that particular thing. So I will have all that information for you guys. My alarm went off and said you were live at 3 p.m. Excited to be here. Hello, I'm so glad that you're here. So I will announce, Carol, the pre-orders will be announced through my e-newsletter, on my blog, and on my socials. So you'll see it in all of those touch points. Okay? So best thing to do, make sure you sign up for the newsletter. The link is down in the description. Sign up for the newsletter. That's the best thing to do. So yeah, if you want to get in on this, National Scrapbook Day weekend, this launches. I'm going to be posting some information about it. So stay tuned for that. Sign up for the e-newsletter, follow me on my socials, and you'll be seeing me wear Victoria Marie merch on videos and that type of thing. Because if you're going to have merch, you got to show people that you have merch, right? And there also will be links underneath my videos with the merch too. And so my goal is to come out with a new design every quarter. By the way, this was designed by the wonderful Mandy Ford from Mandy Ford Illustration. If you're not familiar with Mandy, she does do a lot of designing in the craft and hobby field. She also had a line that was released with HSN, and you can find it on scrapbook.com. So thank you to Mandy Ford for designing this graphic for us. And we're going to be using her for other graphics down the road. So very super excited. I'm glad you guys are excited about it. Let's get to what we're here for, and that is to talk about, hey Nancy, that is to talk about Cricut. So let me know in the comment section, do you currently own an electronic cutting machine, whether it's a Cricut, a Brother, a Silhouette? What do you own? Let me know if you own one. And then the second part of that question is, do you use it? Do you actually use your electronic cutting machine? Now, one of the things that I want to point out is that did I need another one of these? Probably not. To be honest, I owned a Silhouette for at least 9 years, and I upgraded to the Silhouette Cameo. And then I was having some problems with the software on my computer, and I have a brand new computer that's running on the latest Apple software. And what I found was I was having some issues with the Silhouette software and running it. But at the same time, I have been wanting one of these Cricuts for a very long time. So I went and purchased the Cricut Explore Air 2. It was on sale at Michael's, got a great deal on it. And I went and purchased this, and I'm going to tell you why I purchased this model and not the maker here in just a second. But this mint color, I mean, they come in so many pretty colors. Like, I could not pass this up. I absolutely love this beautiful mint color. And also, I wanted to learn more about the features of this particular device. Actually, let me go back to it. Of this particular device. I've seen so many people using the latest model of the Cricut. I had the older Cricut, like the Cricut, what was it called? The Cricut, it wasn't Cricut Maker, it was something else. The very first one, the little small one, it came in black or white and you had to use it with cartridges. So I had the very, very first Cricut. And you know, Cricut was designed for us. Cricut was designed for scrapbookers and card makers. And of course now Cricut's being used to do a lot of different projects. So I had the little smaller Cricut, and the problem that I had with that Cricut is that I could never figure out the cartridge designs, particularly when they came in a whole bunch of layers, right? You had to piece together the design and figure out what to cut and what size to cut it and that type of thing. So I let my Cricut go and I got a silhouette that was a little bit more straightforward. And of course, they had their technology to go with it, the whole nine. You could print from it wirelessly. I'm like, yes, I'm on board. Then Cricut caught up to the game. And so now both of these machines compete pretty competitively in terms of technology, being able to cut wirelessly. They have different models that can do lots of different things. And I've just been super curious about the Cricut. And so the newer models of the Cricut. So I went and bought one, and now I just want to play with it. I just want to play with it. So that's what we're going to do today, is we're going to play with the Cricut. Now I'm going to do something, I'm going to play with it when it comes to using cut files, because that's the main thing I get asked a lot, is how do you use a electronic cut file on an electronic cutting machine? So for those of you who aren't familiar, this machine is designed to work with electronic cut files, just like a Silhouette, just like a Brother. There's other of these die cutting machines out there on the market. It comes with a mat. I have the light grip mat, but there's different types of mats that you can get with the Cricut. And you simply use the Cricut software, which I'm going to show you here in just a second. The machine reads the software. You're able to load your mat with your substrate. For majority of us, it's going to be cardstock. You run it through and it cuts your design. So there's tons and tons and tons of designs out there that you can choose from, and you can import files that this machine can read. So you have files that are called SVG files. There's other types of file extensions that these machines can read. Okay, so I'm going to play a little bit with this today. Now, another question that I get sometimes is, what machine should I get? And the answer to that is you need to do your research first so you can learn the different features of the machine you're interested in to determine if the features are things that you're going to use. Now, someone asked me, why didn't you just get the Maker? And the Maker's the newer model of the Cricut. The Maker has a lot of extended options design-wise, using different substrates like wood and that type of thing that I just did not need. I strictly use this machine for paper crafting purposes. I don't do vinyl. I don't do any of those, DIY type projects. I do things related to scrapbooking or in card making, and maybe some 3D things, mini album stuff, sometimes home decor, sometimes gift type things. And so the Explore Air 2, which is what I have here, this model, the Explore Air 2 was perfect for my use. Another thing that you want to be cognizant of is you have to make sure that whatever machine you get is compatible with the technology that you have. So if you have an old computer, more than likely that's not going to be compatible with the machine and its software, depending on what you have. So when you're looking at the features of the machine, also make sure that your technology is up to date enough to be able to run the software and run this machine. Okay, because there's so many people who buy this and find out that it's not compatible with what they have. So if you've got an old IBM sitting up there, it ain't going to work with these things. So one, determine what you're going to use this machine for. This is a high price point for a lot of people. These machines average over $230 sometimes. You can get them on sale. But look to see what features they have first before you commit to it. There's lots of models of the Cricut out there. Some people have more than one. So far, and I hate to say this because I was true to form Silhouette. I love Silhouette so much. Now that I've been playing with this machine, I think I kind of slightly prefer Cricut better because I feel that it's just intuitive and you can start right out the gate, right out the box, okay? Another one of my suggestions is when you get the machine, take it out of the box and start using it, start playing it. Don't keep it in your box somewhere in your studio or in your craft space forever. You spend money on it, take it out of the box. There's tons of tutorials, tons of classes out there that will teach you how to use your machine, okay? And then, of course, there's just good old playing around with it, which is what we're going to do today. So let me check the comments. I asked, do you have an electronic die cutting machine or electronic cutting machine? A lot of you have the Cricut Maker, the Explore 2. Deb has the old Cricut with a small cutting area with cartridges. Rarely use it. Cricut Maker. Looks like a lot of Cricut Makers. We got Cameo 4. Use it about once or twice a month. Yes, after you bought yours, says Mary. Awesome. I hope you've used it. Cricut Maker, Brother Scan and Cut. Nope. Don't even, but you love them. Don't use them, but you love them. That's awesome, Jennifer. Hopefully you'll use them. Jocelyn says she has a silhouette cameo. Mary says she's got hers. You enabled me to buy the Cricut. Yay! Melissa, I love that. Own the Cricut Maker, the Joy, and the Cameo. Do not use any of them because I have not taken the time to learn how. And you know, Lori, that's such a really interesting thing that you say because we spend so much time, we spend so much money on these devices, and then we don't use them because we do have to take the time to learn them. But once you do, they're a lot of fun. Some folks have the expression, the joy. Do not own an electronic cutting machine. Please do a blog post about which cutting machine is right for you. Absolutely, Lauren. A lot of you love your Cricut. Um, yeah, so there's a lot of you have them. A lot of you like them. That's fantastic. And there's lots of different models. So let's just talk about this, just basic stuff. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm not a Cricut aficionado. I am not, let me see if you guys, yes, awesome. You guys should be able to see that. I am not someone who knows a whole lot about this particular machine that I have. So we're just going to play. That's what we're here for, is we're here to play. So the first thing that I want to explore, because I get this question a lot, is how do you use this machine with electronic cut files? So I'm going to use the electronic cut files that are provided in the Cricut software, the design space, and then I'm going to show you how you can upload a electronic cut file, because a lot of scrapbookers like using electronic cut files for titles and backgrounds and that type of thing. So here we go. So when you have your Cricut all set up and you want to follow the manufacturer's specifications for your Cricut, for your whatever model that you're using, let me do something real quick. For whatever model that you're using, and it's usually a pretty simple setup. Follow all the instructions, take the time, that type of thing. Once you have it all set up, you will create an account with Cricut Design Space. This is where you will have access to the Cricut designs, okay? And they're designed by various different people. I believe that they offer also a subscription plan, which is what I have. I think I pay like $10 a month so I can get unlimited access to this entire library of files. So you can essentially go in. It also houses any of the projects that you're doing. Like I have this project here that's a grid background that I pulled up for a scrapbook project that I'm working on. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can cut vinyl for a variety of projects. You can cut paper, all kinds of things. These machines are super, super powerful, and they give you really fun projects that you can use with your Cricut. You can also set this up to where it's specific to the machine that you have, which is great. And they have all these really cool design ideas, and all you have to do is just like click on one, and then you can learn more about it. What materials to use, what to cut it on, anything else that you need. I mean, it's really, really fun and very informative. It also gives you some cutting instructions, that type of thing. So you're not lost in what you need to do. Okay. So there's lots of really cool stuff. I like the software so far. I've played with this I've probably done like maybe 3 or 4 projects on this so far. So again, I'm not an expert at this. I'm learning. You're watching me learn as I go. There's some projects that people from the Cricut community have posted. By the way, I'm not an affiliate of Cricut. This is just Victoria, who just purchased a Cricut not too long ago and is learning how to use it. So there is a link to Cricut in my description, which is simply to their website if you want more information about the machine. But I'm not here to sell you on it or anything. I'm just here playing and exploring. So far, when I pull up Cricut Design Space, and this is web-based, which is fantastic. You can download the app on your computer, pull it up, wonderful. You sign in, I'm already signed in, and I love this interface. I think it's just cleaner and sleeker than the Silhouette. The Silhouette can be a little bit intimidating when it comes to the software and whatnot for some folks. I think it's just a little bit more technical than Cricut from what I'm seeing so far. But I like that there's categories like stuff for beginners, cards, labels, celebrations, and it looks like I can search. So if I'm looking for, I don't know, Mother's Day is coming up. So maybe I do like Mother's Day, type that in. Let's see what that yields. that yields all kinds of projects that if I could make for Mother's Day. So I could like cut something out to create a project. It looks like there's some design ideas for cards and gifts and stuff like that. Like there's a part of my creative being that really wants to do stuff like this. Like, but do I have time? You just create something really fun to put in a gift package and work with vinyl. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll explore that as I get to learn this machine a little bit more. I don't know. That looks like a lot of fun. Let me know in the comments if you work with vinyl. And you know what? There's so many other things that you can do with Cricut. So many things. There's a pretty card. That's cute. That looks like it's probably, is that a cut file? Oh yeah. So it looks like there's these different pieces that you can layer together for the card. So that's pretty cool. So that gives me some ideas there. So cool. So I could go and look at all the different designs that they have for Mother's Day or whatever. And I could type in any category, right? So it could be, maybe I'm looking for something for summer because summer's coming up. Let's see. I guess for most of us north of the equator, that is. Yeah, so there's all kinds of fun little things here. That's cool. I like using my machine for fonts, for titles specifically. I like using it for backgrounds. Like that's pretty cool. I like intricate backgrounds. This is usually what I use it for. Elements for cards. And then also too, if I'm making little gifts or stuff that I make for Corinne's birthday parties, that type of thing, my daughter's birthday parties and stuff, then I like to use the machine if I'm cutting stuff out for party favors and whatever. I haven't played with vinyl or anything yet, so maybe that's to come. Summer camp. Okay, so there's all kinds of stuff here. Cool. And it looks like you can filter. I'm just kind of going back here. It looks like you can filter things as well. Oh, that's just to let me know there's maintenance that's going to be going on tomorrow. What if I click celebrations? What will that do? Oh, it brings up all kinds of stuff. Birthday. Very fun. Mermaid banner. Oh, that'd be kind of cute for a birthday themed. Featured projects. Ooh, I'm interested in this butterfly birthday box. Isn't that sweet? So this is the type of stuff that I'm into. Like, I love this type of thing. That's really cute. I would totally make this as little party favors or as a gift. I would totally make that. And that's what the cut file looks like, which is great. And then they're easy to assemble because then you have all the dotted lines and stuff like that. So, okay, that's really similar to Silhouette. So that's cool. It has all the information. It even tells you how long it would take, I guess, to cut and assemble this. So 30 minutes to an hour. You can print the directions. Oh, I really like that. Did y'all know that? Did you know you could print the directions for the different designs? That's handy. I don't think you can do that in Silhouette. Don't quote me on that, though. And then if you want to make it, you just come down here and press the button that says make it, or you can customize. I really like that. I love that you get all this information. The color cardstock to cut, anything else like adhesive squares, gems, the Explore pen, grip mat. I mean, they give you all this information. The dimensions, it is about 3.3 square when complete. That's helpful. There's many times that I've cut a project and I wasn't super sure how big it'll be. And then I go through and I waste paper because I'm not cutting it right. So I appreciate that amount of detail. Okay. I think I really like that. Let me go to the comments real quick. Did Aubrey Jane joined us? She sure did. You said search for Star Wars. I will, actually. I would do some of those things that include sublimation and vinyl, and I'll get anything. However, a lot of some things to get done first. Absolutely. No vinyl. Yeah, I haven't played with vinyl. Can the birthday box be blue and larger on the inside? Oh, Aubrey Jane. Aubrey is almost on summer vacation. She's almost finished with the semester. And Professor Calvin is always playing around with me. So thank you, Professor Calvin. Let me see if they do have any like Star Wars type stuff. Let's find out. I would imagine like with Star Wars or Disney, they would have to have some kind of branding deal with them. Look at that. They do have Star Wars stuff. May the 4th be with you, by the way. Look at that. They do. Huh. All right, so let's play. So we're talking about cut files, and that's what, when you're looking in Design Space here with Cricut, they have thousands upon thousands of cut files. Look at that. Aubrey, I hope you're still on, because look at all these Star Wars things. How fun. Okay, it also looks like you can do some filters here too. So like material, like if you're looking for a design, you can cut with chipboard or layered designs, or what's operation? Cut only, draw only, print then cut, cut then draw. Okay, all right. Language. Ooh, all kinds of languages here too. Well, that's really nice. Available online. You can download it. Licensed content. They've got Disney, Marvel, Sesame Street, Star Wars, and Warner Brothers. So those of you who are interested in that type of thing, Cricut has that. I'm really interested in the Disney stuff too. Okay, so this looks fun. All of our Star Wars folks, may the 4th be with you today. Okay, I want to play with this. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to cut something out. So let's do maybe this. This seems simple. So it looks like I can just click on it. Looks like you can buy it too. Looks like it's for, yeah, logo, image sets. Let me see if this is something that I have to buy. Download. Oh, add to canvas. Can I do that? There we go. All right, so looks like when I click on the file, it opens up a canvas. And I think the canvas is formatted to where you can reformat the image to the size of the canvas that you're going to be cutting on. And I'm just doing a standard cutting mat. And then it looks like here I've got some options for template, projects, shapes, images, text, phrases. And I can also upload from here too. So that looks interesting. Then I'm already liking this interface, guys. So in Silhouette, when you're in kind of like the Silhouette canvas, if you will, to work with your cut file, it looks a little bit intimidating. It looks really highly technical. But here in Cricut, this looks really straightforward. So it looks like I can change what the operation is, like a basic cut, draw, pin, score, print and cut. Okay, so there's a print and cut. I'm gonna have to play with that during another live. Deselect, edit, you can offset, arrange, flip. I'm gonna have to play with all of those in other lives. Looks like you can change the size here, and then it gives you the little option to change the size here. You can looks like you can lock in the design size here. You can rotate it, and then you can click this X to take it off. Here's rotate tools here. You can also position it on the X and the Y axis. Okay, so that's cool. Then what's this over here? You can duplicate. Looks like there's an option to ungroup and to group. I think you would have to highlight that. I don't know how that works. I have to figure that out. Because in Silhouette, if you want to ungroup an image, you would just select it. Like I can hit the select button. It says select all. But I don't know if, I don't think it's grouped. I probably could. I don't know. I don't know how you would do that. I have to figure that out. Because here's the ungroup button. Color sync. This panel allows you to sync colors to use fewer materials. To change colors, drag and drop the object into the layer of the desired color. Okay, I'll have to play with that later. Okay. And then also like in Silhouette, if you come down here at the bottom, there's an option to slice, wield, attach, flatten, and contour. So we'll have to play with those in subsequent lives. Down here at the bottom, it looks like I can zoom in and zoom out, so I can kind of look at my canvas a little bit more. So my assumption is now I can make this as big or as small as I need it. So if I'm creating a project and say I want, I'm doing a layout about Aubrey and her love of Star Wars, and maybe I want a big title, I can just kind of do that, right? Make it as big as I need to, and it looks like it's giving me the measurements. And then it also looks like I can change it up here and then lock in the measurement too. So if I want to change numerically the width and the height up here, I can do that and then lock it in. Okay, so let's do, my mat is 12 by 12. If I go any larger, like if I had one of those long mats and I wanted to do something on vinyl and like pop this on a wall, then I would measure that out to the longer mat, whatever the size that is. But I'm just working with 12 by 12. So I'm just going to size this down maybe to like 8 by, that looks like it's about 3, almost less than 3 1/4. And I'm just following the little guides here. Okay. So you just make it whatever size you want to make it. All right, and it looks like when I'm ready to make it, I can come over here. And then also if I hit this drop down, it'll have the different machines. And you would select, like if you're using the Cricut Joy, then you would select Cricut Joy. So it knows, the software knows what machine. I can also save my project, it looks like too. Okay, so I'm gonna hit make it. Alrighty, cool. So it brings up the mat. Let me get some paper, some orangey paper or yellow paper or whatever. All right, you can thank Aubrey because I wasn't going to do Star Wars, but now I am. Okay, so what it says, let me see if I can do one other thing real quick. Where's my things? Oh, here we go. I'm trying to figure out how to use my stuff. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to use this color because that's like as close as I can get. And I'm going to go ahead and load this on my mat. And I'm using the light grip mat. I'm going to put this on. Mine's kind of dirty because I used it. I got some pencil mark on there from some notes I was taking, and it fell on my mat when I was using it. Okay, so now I'm just going to load this to my mat. This is a 12 by 12 inch mat. And I don't know how large the longer mat is, how long it is. I'm assuming it's at least over 24 inches for sure. Okay, so I'm going to load that up. All right. So now we've got that loaded. Let's go back to the software and see what happens. So I am ready to, I guess I have to pay for this because it says check out. So this is not one of the free ones, apparently. So I'm going to have to pay for that. Let's see, check out. Authorize. Okay. So I guess one of the things you have to be mindful of is if it's not a part of your subscription, you'll have to pay for the file. And I bet you for a lot of these licensed ones, they may not be a part of the Silhouette subscription. You probably have to buy them, but that's okay. This is fun. And I have it and just in case I want to do a Star Wars layout. Okay, so looks like over here, I can select how many project copies I want. It looks like I can move this. Oh yeah, I can move this around. And then I can like flip it and stuff. Okay, that's cool. That's cool, okay. Liking that. What does this do? Move object, hide selected. Oh, okay, I see. So then I can move this where I want it on the mat. Basic cut, material size 12 by 12. So it looks like I can select the mat that I want. Oh yeah, so it does go up to 24 inches. I was right. So you can get a mat that's 12 by 24. I can mirror the image if I want. What happens if I do that? Oh, I guess that works well if you're working with vinyl. For those of you who do vinyl, I'm assuming you want the mirror image of the vinyl project, right? The design. I've never done vinyl, so I don't know. All right, so now I'm going to hit continue. And it's connecting. I have mine directly connected to my laptop because I'm having a hard time doing the wireless, but you can do wireless on Cricut. You can set that up. All right, so material set to use 80 cardstock. Adjust dial to desired material. So there's a dial on my machine that I can, what did I just do? There's a dial on my machine that I can select what material that I'm using. All right, tools, load tools and material. Okay, so there's a little light flashing on my machine right now. And It's right here. So I'm just going to load this. I'm going to move anything out of the way in the back. Okay. Press that. Okay. So that's cool. And then press go. So it looks like there is, so I like how this software tells you specifically what to do. Because for those of you who are technologically challenged and you're like, just give me the steps, this tells you what to do. Okay, so now I'm going to go, it says to press go. So now I'm going to press go. And it's lighting up. There we go. Let's cut that out. Oh, this is going to be fun. And I'm using cardstock that's about 80-pound weight cardstock. Oh yeah, that's nice. I love how smooth that's cutting. That's pretty cool. Okay. I can handle up on that. That's awesome. While that's cutting, let me go to the comments. Hey Kim, what's going on? All right, some of you have used this machine. I have not. No, I mean I've used it a few times. Let me go back here. A few comments. Aubrey says, you just made my nerd heart happy. You're welcome, sweetie. You're welcome. They do Disney, Hello Kitty, Harry Potter, but it's not free even with access. Okay. Thank you for letting me know that. Some have a charge too. Even if you have a subscription, it sounds like some have a charge. Okay. I get it. Yes, you have to buy it. Nice thing you buy it once and it's yours forever. Thank you, Carl. I was going to ask that if you have to keep buying it, if you buy some of these exclusive branded ones, and it looks like you just own it after that. We'll love to see you use some of the Disney ones. And you know what, Elizabeth? I might be doing that pretty soon because I do have a Disney project I want to work on. Hey, Debbie, what's going on? You have to pay for it once you hit cut. Yeah. Late to the game on this type of machine. Most of the people I watch were Silhouette, so I bought one. They all switched to Cricut. It's just easier to me, I think, from a technology standpoint, for sure. I like that you can send the cut file on my phone to the machine, but haven't figured out how to create the backing pieces. Yes. So you can use their app to also create on the go, which is fantastic. Says, I feel like it's expensive and wasteful. A lot gets thrown away during wedding. Yeah, I'll be curious to hear how things go with you as you learn more to use it. Carol, I think you're maybe referring to like if you're doing like favors and things of that nature, like wedding, party stuff. I would tend to agree with that. Let's see. Victoria, on the right layers panel, does it give you an option to ungroup? It looks like there is a, let me go back real quick. It looks like, okay, once it's cut, just hit done. Oh, and then it unloads the material. Okay, fantastic. So, so your question was, under layers right here, there is an option to say group and ungroup, but I'm not quite sure what you need to do to ungroup an image, because in Silhouette, all you have to do is highlight the item and then the ungroup and group becomes available, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. There must be a way to do that somehow. We'll come back to that. At some point. If not today, we'll come back to that. There's some things I still have to learn. There are some differences, for sure. Okay, so now I have that cut. Cool. This cuts really nicely. That's one of the things that I heard a lot of people talk about with Cricut, is that they feel it cuts better than Silhouette. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. the machine that you purchase needs to be specific to what you're going to use it for, right? So I'm basically paper crafting. I don't need anything more than this Cricut, and it has basically the stuff that I need in order to do the things that I want to do. Um, so I'm not doing any vinyl or any of that type of stuff, at least not now, but you never know. Okay, so I have all the tools. I'm going to take this little spatula, and what I like to do is I like to flip this over, and then I like to remove the image, move the mat away from the image versus trying to pry it off the mat. So I'm just kind of slowly peeling that off. And I do this with my Silhouette too. All right. Maybe I'll make something for Aubrey using this. She loves Star Wars. Okay, cool. So we got that. And some of the letters are together, and some of them are not. So let's see. Looks like it goes like this. Okay. There we go. Let me turn it this way. Star Wars. That's pretty cool. Okay, so that was simple. It cut nicely. Didn't have any problems with it. Didn't have any problems with the blade. I'm already liking this a lot better. Now, when I said earlier, like you can choose your material, you can choose it, it looks like in the software, but there's also this dial here on this model of the machine. I don't think the maker has this here, but you can turn it and you can tell the machine what you want to cut. So bordered fabric or bonded fabric, light cardstock, iron-on vinyl, paper, cardstock. You can tell it what you want it to cut on, even poster board on this version of the Cricut Explore Air 2. Okay, cool. The second question I always get from folks is, how do you upload a cut file to use with your electronic die cutting machine? So we'll do that with the Cricut. So also wanted to share with you, when I buy tools, when I buy devices, I have to get all the tools that go with it. So I bought this little tool pack. Folks who use Cricut, or especially those who work with vinyl and stuff, while a lot of people get the Cricut brand things, apparently you can purchase similar tools from like the Dollar Tree. That's a lot less expensive if you're wanting to stay on a budget. But I like to get the branded tools to go with the machines, and I usually budget for that whenever I'm buying a new machine. But I keep this in this little container that I got from Target. So I have everything that I need to work with this machine. Okay, let's move on. I think the last thing I want to do as I'm exploring this, I hope you guys are liking these lives where I'm playing around with stuff. I really feel that sometimes when designers show what they're learning, I think it helps us as a community as a whole. I appreciate it when I'm watching people make things. Okay, so let's see here. Yep, I bought it. Yeah, I bought it. Claire says, Cricut Access's subscription doesn't usually include licensed designs, but you can use your filter menu to refine your selection to return just free and purchase results. Okay, that's fantastic. Sarah says, yes, for the mirror image, although Silhouette now has a function where it will cut the mirror without mirroring the image in the software. I don't trust it and I always mirror. If you select the material that needs to be cut mirrored and don't select the mirror for the image, the Cricut software will yell at you. That's good to know as well. Sometimes buying the image set that includes more images will be cheaper. That's a good tip. We don't talk about how I know that. Poor Nancy. Kim says, joining late, are you happy so far thinking about purchasing an electronic die cutting machine? Kim, I will say that I've been really super happy with this Cricut so far. I probably have used it a number of 10 times, and I'm still kind of getting used to all of the feature use Silhouette for the past 10, 11 years or so. I will say, if you're new to the die cutting game, I think Cricut is a solid choice because it is so easy right out the box to set it up and to start using it immediately. Silhouette has a slight learning curve because I think it's a little bit more technical, but they have tons of fantastic designs just like Cricut. My main tip is to research the machines you're interested in and figure out if the machine you're interested in has the features that you know you'll use. Okay. So for me, I got this model because it had the features that I know that I would use for the projects that I like to work on. Right now, after using this a couple of times or more than a couple of times, I Cricut's coming in number one for me right now. I have not used a Brother Scan and Cut. There's another one that comes to mind now, and I can't even think of it. Um, but so far, I'm really, really liking the Cricut. I feel it's more intuitive. I feel it cuts smoother. I've had issues with my blades with Silhouette. I've had issues with intricate cut files in Silhouette, and I'm having issues with the software in Silhouette. And I think it's their software is not as cross compatible as they say it is. I think some of their updates are a little bit lagging behind the technology, but that's just my personal experience. Um, oh, when you weed the vinyl, got it, Carol. The Star Wars image looks to be a flat image, so there won't be any layers to ungroup. Claire, that's a really good point. I think it is a flat image. There's no other parts of it. It's just that. So no, that's a really good point. Really good point. Pat says she's been using the Cricut since 2008, or yeah, 2008, and loves it. That's fantastic. Um, Hey, Ronnie, how are you? She says, I love my Cricut, but don't even know all it does. Yeah, mostly using it for cutting, for scrapbooking, cut files. Yeah. Just by manual machine, though just when I start when you need to do something quickly. Yeah, me too. I love another question I get is do I now, because I have an electronic, when I have an electronic cutting machine, do I use my manual die cutting machine? And the answer to that is yes, because remember, the manual die cutting machine will cut using your metal dies and also emboss. This machine doesn't use the metal dies, it cuts electronic cut files. And so if I'm wanting something where I'm mass producing or whatever, then I'm going to use my electronic cut file if I want lots of circles or squares or something like that. I don't feel like punching things out or die cutting. But I also have dies that I need a cutting machine for, a manual machine for. So I have both. Let's see. Best tip ever: to remove the mat from the paper, not the paper from the mat. Yes, took me years to learn that. Me too. Pat says, hint: when you put the image on the canvas, select all, then click on attach. Okay. No dial on the maker. The Explorer has the customized dial that's useful. Okay. So Cindy says there's not a dial on the maker if you have a maker, if you're interested in that. Okay. Awesome. Um, I like that you have all the things. I do. When I'm buying a machine, I want all the accessories that go with it. Silhouette is like working with Photoshop. Cricut is user friendly, less options, but less to make it confusing. That is a really good point. Silhouette does have, technically, from their software side, is a little bit more confounding, I think, than Cricut. So if you're someone who's not used to that, working with, software like Photoshop or Adobe or whatever, and you're interfacing with Silhouette, because it does have a lot of design options, it can be a little intimidating for sure. Cricut cuts well. Found that the deep blade works best when I cut chipboard. The blades are easy to switch out. Yes. One of the issues that I have with my Silhouette Cameo is that the blade adjustments, like when you need it to adjust to a certain material, sometimes it doesn't always adjust correctly, and then it doesn't cut right. And so I've had that experience the last few times that I've used my Silhouette Cameo, and I've had it for about 3 years now. Um, Whoever said I don't know all it can do, I feel that about my iPhone. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so let's go back to the software. And okay, let me go here. Oh, Victoria, you got to do it right. I'm also still getting used to my new streaming software here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is switch back to my computer, and I am done with this. So I'm assuming maybe I can come here and go to home. Alrighty. Yes, I know you guys are doing maintenance. Thank you for letting me know. Alrighty, so the next question is how do you then bring in or upload a cut file? So I'm assuming maybe if I hit here, does it give me an upload option? New product. Okay, maybe not. Ooh, I probably could upload my avatar too. Images. Do you have to do new project maybe? Let's hit new project. Let's see. Replace. Okay, I could have saved that Star Wars one, but it's, you know, I already purchased it, so it's there. So I'm going to come over here. I wonder if I do new window. I'm just wondering what's up here with these options. Okay, so I'm going to come down here, and it looks like I have a button to upload. All right, so I'm going to hit that. And let's see, it says you've got perks. Remember, as a Cricut Access subscriber, you get unlimited and unrestricted use of every image in our ever-growing library, excluding licensed images. Okay, so there's that disclaimer. Alrighty. I have this cut file create that I'm actually going to be using in an upcoming video for National Scrapbook Day, so stay tuned for that. So it looks like I'm going to click Upload Image, Compatible File Types. Okay, so here's the thing. When I said earlier, when you're researching your machine, you do want to look to see what the compatible file types are, meaning that these are all the file extensions that the machine will read, okay? So there's JPEG, there's a GIF, there's GIF, GIF, I don't know how to pronounce that, PNG, BMP, SVG, or DXF. And most of the cut files that you will purchase more than likely will be an SVG, a PNG, or a JPEG. So just letting you know. So it looks like I'm going to hit this upload button, and then I can drop or drag, or I can browse. So I'm just going to browse. And I'm going to come to my desktop because I have a cut file from Paige Evans. And I'm going to select the SVG file because in this pack that I purchased from her, there is the PNG, the DXF, and the SVG file. So any of those would work fine, apparently. I'm going to use SVG. I'm going to open. And it looks like, let's see, cut image, replace each color in this image will be on an individual cut layer. Huh, I'm gonna have to play with that if I'm doing an image that has multiple layers. So that's good to know. All right, so it looks like I can add tags to this image as well. So that's cool. So let me upload. And a tag will help you find stuff easier, which I've already uploaded, so that's fine because I've used it. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to add to Canvas. And where is it at? Okay, so let me come over here. Maybe Basic Cut? Oh, okay. I wonder why it does that. I have no clue. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, so I click on Basic Cut. What does that mean? Oh, I see. So here is this part of the cut file. Here's this part of the cut file, like the middle part of the A, and then here's the full image. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to zoom out. I don't know why it had it all zoomed in. Maybe that's just how it comes in. I don't know. And then I guess at this point I can size it however I want. And I'm going to zoom back in. There we go. So what I did was I zoomed out and it contracted the mat. So now that I zoomed back in, I can see the measurements up here a little bit better. Okay, so I want to, I'm going to zoom out to work with this. So this particular cut file has layers to it. And I know this because here where it says ungroup, this is now available to me. Now I wonder if I ungroup it, if I want it grouped, like if I do one function, will it let me go back and edit that function? Ungroup. So it ungroups these things here, it looks like. Okay. And this is the middle portion of the letter, it looks like. So if I wanted to not have those there, looks like I could do that. Okay. What if I don't like that? What if I don't, can I group it back? Oh, okay. I'd have to put it back where it's at. Okay, so ungroup. Is there anything else that ungroups from here? Nope, that's all one image. It's just these layers here. Okay, So it looks like the only layers for this file are the middle part of the R and the middle part of the A, but if I want to group those back together, I would have to position them back on the letter and then highlight it, group it, and then it groups it back. Okay, all right, so that makes sense. Okay, cool. Looks like I have some editing tools. I can copy it, I can duplicate it, I can change the size. I wonder if you can add stuff to it. Like if I want to add a shape, I'm going to click on shape. I'm just going to grab a heart. Oh yeah, so I can add stuff to it, I guess, if I want to. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Is there an undo? Oh, here it is. I wonder if there's a way, like if I wanted to add this to it, like a weld maybe? I don't know. I have to play with that later. But I guess if I want to add other things to cut with this, I could. If I don't want this, I can click off. Yeah, I can do that too. Let's see. What is this? If I highlight it again, if I come down here, I'm able to weld, attach, and flatten. I don't know what any of that means. I guess if I was working with two different like images, then I can weld them together. Interesting. Alrighty, so it looks pretty easy to be able to bring in a cut file. So now I can resize it. So maybe I'm working on a 12 by 12 inch mat. So I'm just gonna, if I want to do something like 24 inches and cut it on vinyl or make a banner or something like that, I could totally cut it, but I don't have a large mat. So I'm just gonna maybe cut it down to 10 inches. And I'm just using the guides on the mat. And of course, the little guide numbers show whenever you hit this little adjustment button on the image, it'll give you the exact precise numbers. And I can also change them up here, it looks like, if I need something specific. Okay, so maybe like that. Okay. I need to figure out what all the rest of this stuff is. Okay, we'll come back to that. Okay, so very easy to bring in a cut file, looks like. So I'm going to hit make it. And there it is on my mat, which I really appreciate this so I can see exactly where it's going to cut on the mat. I like that. So let's just select some white cardstock. And for intricate cuts, I like to use 80-pound weight cardstock. I'm using some American Crafts textured cardstock. It cuts pretty nicely. And my understanding is that Cricut does better with intricate cuts than Silhouette sometimes. Silhouette, sometimes my cuts would just end up like super garbage. I'd be cutting something and it just wouldn't cut. Alrighty. Got my mat loaded with my material. So let me go back here and I'm going to hit continue. Don't everything else come up. It's going to find my Explore. Okay. Now it's saying load the material. So I'm going to totally do that. And there's a little button that's flashing here on the machine. So I'm just going to load it. And I like this too because it has some guides to tell you exactly where to put your mat. Like physically, like it pops up on the machine. You just slip it right in there. So that's good. That's a difference from the Silhouette. Alrighty. So that's loaded. Cool. And then it says to press go. And it looks like you can do fast mode too. So I guess if you need to cut faster, you can do that. And it also says press the flashing go button. Like you can't mess this up. Press the flashing go button. That's what I'm going to do. All right, now it's preparing that cut file for me. And this is going to take a minute to cut or so. So while that's cutting, let me go to the chatty chat. Okay. Let's see. Claire says, I find it easier to use the SVG in Silhouette, or in Cricut rather. Some of the other file types need cleaning beforehand, which can be time consuming if it's an intricate design. Huh. You can also resize using the size boxes at the top of the tool. Yes, absolutely. Click on the arrow like you have in the Word left top. Yes, got that. So Scrapbook says, the only function I believe is not able to be undone is willed. Okay, well, that's good to know. That's good to know. You can always undo anything by clicking the reverse arrow at the top. Got that. Got that. That's if you have 2 or more images. Like if you're going to weld and such. Okay, Sarah. So if I had more than one image, then I can like highlight that and weld it together. Okay. Most of my die cutting, even with my Silhouette, has just been with a straight up cut file. And then I don't really manipulate it or do anything to it. Because it's kind of tricky in Silhouette. Like you've got to have a really good knowledge of the software. But I think with this, it just seems really straightforward without all the rest of the options there. Weld is great if you have an alphabet font and you want to make the word cursive. Huh. Cool. Okay, so that's good to know. That's good to know. Let me know in the comment section if those of you who've been using Cricut for a very, very long time, if there are other projects that you make with your Cricut, or just any cutting machine besides paper crafting or cards. Are there any other projects that you make with your cutting machine? So far, and you guys can't see this, but so far it looks like it's cutting really nicely for this intricate design. And I chose Paige's cut file specifically to test this out because she tends to make a lot of intricate cuts, and you can find her designs on Etsy, by the way. And I have found in the past when I've used a Silhouette that sometimes that cut will just be butchered, and I don't know why. I don't know if it was the blade, if the machine just couldn't handle the intricate cut all that well, if it was the settings. Every now and then I would have an issue with cutting an intricate file. So when I cut this for the first time, it was fine. So it looks like same thing here. That's looking really nice. And I'm going to use that cut file for a layout here that you'll see on National Scrapbook Day this Saturday. So stay tuned for that. So I'm just waiting for this to cut, and it looks like it's cutting relatively fast. I have learned with intricate cuts, however, using an 80-pound weight cardstock is fantastic. Unless you're going to double cut, that is, have the machine cut it twice. Because sometimes the thicker cardstock, depending on the blade and that type of thing, sometimes it doesn't always come out great that first go around. I know Silhouette has an option where you can tell the machine to cut it twice. Nancy says she makes iron-on t-shirts and other stuff. Iron-on as well. I want to try my hand at that. Barb says she only uses her Cricut for paper crafting. However, getting ready to do my first vinyl project. That's fun. Claire said, not for me. I stick to paper and card for scrapbooking projects. But I've seen some fabulous projects for home decor. Absolutely. I believe if you sign up for Paige Evans' newsletter, you get a free cut file every month. Well, that's good to know. I did not know that. Could have been the blade. I use the manual adjustment blade on my Silhouette. So if I don't get a good test cut, I can change the blade myself. Yeah. And sometimes it was the blade. I have found on the Cameo, however, whenever I changed the blade, I always had difficulty with making sure it was calibrated and making sure it's cutting well, and it just was very frustrating. So I don't know. I didn't have that problem with the previous Silhouette that I had, but with the Cameo, for some reason, I do. Carla says she loves making stickers. I've done vinyl projects in the past, mostly HVT or HTV. Hey, what's going on, Victoria? Excellent resource for beginning season Cricut users is Jennifer Maker. Yes, I follow Jennifer Maker and May. I've been following them for a very, very long time. I love Jennifer Maker. She has the biggest, the biggest library of tutorials and wonderful classes. So yeah, if you're wanting to learn more about Cricut, Jennifer Maker is top notch. May has some great videos and content as well. Also, I believe it's Sweet Red Poppy has some fantastic videos too. I love following them. Hey, Camilla, she says, I buy acrylic bookmarks and cut vinyl to put people's names on them. That's really fun. Oh, that's really fun. What a great gift too. As someone who loves bookmarks, I would totally appreciate an acrylic bookmark with my name on it. That is awesome. That is awesome. Okay, so this one is almost done cutting, and we'll peel it off the craft mat here in a second. So my thoughts so far on the software is this. Oh, it's still cutting. Oh, cool. And it even tells you how long you have left. So that's great. That's really great. So my thoughts so far on this, I think I like it better than Silhouette. Than Silhouette. I really do. I think they're both great machines. I think you have to determine what features work best for you. What helped me to decide when I was buying in the market to buy a new electronic cutting machine, what helped me the most was looking at comparison information. I believe Jennifer Maker has a blog post where she talks and compares it. Sweet Red Poppy, maybe. There's some other people out there who teach either Silhouette or Cricut classes, or they do affiliate type content on their YouTube channels that have a comparison. Oh, this is nice. And so that was helpful because then I can determine what I would need to use it for, what I would want to use it for. Jennifer Maker also has free printouts for all of the terminology and design space too. Yes, so super helpful. Melody Lane's videos are also good. Yes, I agree. Mel says she uses hers for junk journals. Awesome. Trying to figure out the ideal cutting selections for intricate cut files. I use American Crafts white cardstock, but sometimes it gets messed up when cutting. Yeah. I use either American Crafts. I use Basil a lot too. And then I also will use, depending on the cut file, I'll use Smooth White from Catherine Puller Designs. I love her, love her cardstock, particularly for blending. All right, so I'm going to nicely and gently peel this off, or peel the mat off the cut file. And I'm just being really gentle using my little tool here. I now have all the questions about this machine. But this was really super simple. I really honestly think if you're in the market for a cutting device, I think Cricut's the way to go. Particularly if you're someone who's not looking for something super technical, you want something a little bit more straightforward. If you're cool with the tech part of it and you want, Silhouette is a fantastic option as well. Now, has anyone used the Brothers Scan and Cut? One of my, I'm friends with a designer named May Flom who teaches a lot of Brothers Scan and Cut classes, and she loves the device. And I know that a lot of these different devices have different features. Just being really super careful. This is a new mat, so it's super sticky. I'm actually going to turn this over. Some of the letters are starting to come off. And you see what I'm doing. Let me know if you've used the Brothers Scan and Cut. Now, something that intrigues me about the Brothers Scan and Cut is that it makes it easy for you to scan in images and cut them. So people who like to make stickers or that type of thing, it seems to be really popular, but I've never used that particular machine before. So this cut file cuts all the letters and those inner parts. And I'm just going to slowly get this off the mat. It is really sticky. I'm trying not to rip this cut file. I think I'm going to take this welding tool as well. Just kind of get underneath there for the outline. I love Pages cut files so much because they are so super intricate, but you got to be really gentle. Now, normally I would flip the mat over and remove the mat from the cut file, but sometimes you got to see what you're doing. So with an intricate cut like this, so I'm just gonna do that. There we go. So that's really pretty. I only see one little mess up here, and that's probably my fault, more than likely. But that's okay, I can work with that. Okay, I'm gonna set this to the side real quick. I'm gonna get the letters off. New mat, super sticky. This part I would need. Okay, so I don't want to throw that away. And then I'll clean this off here in just a few. All right, so let me get another piece of cardstock here so that you can see that cut file a little bit better. It says Create. So that's really pretty. And I'm going to be using this on a layout, but I love, love, love the way that looks. And you can back it with stuff if you want, with pattern paper or whatnot. I have an idea for it, but you will see when I work with it. Let's see. Hey, Joanne. Close to my heart, smooth white is nice too. They have really nice cardstock for sure. Hey, Beverly. Cricut has an intricate cut setting on the menu on the screen when you get to the cut page. You can change it there. The intricate setting is under the cardstock setting. Okay, I'll have to check that out next time I do an intricate cut. Thank you. See, this is why I love doing these types of things, because I'm learning, we're all learning, and some of you have used this machine and figured out some stuff. So I love hearing from people who've actually used the machine, right? So here's that. Oh, goodness. There we go. I can't hold things up. Beverly says, you have all three. Wow. Beverly, do you use your machines? Are you using your machines? Let's see. I want a brother scanning cut so bad just for the scanning part. Yeah, me too. I can't justify it though, just for the scanning part. You could definitely do, there's a print and cut option for Air 2 and for Maker. I'm not sure about the previous machines for Cricut. Have the original scan and cut. Yes, I've used it. Let's see. I've had the scan and cut. It is nice for stampers. I just found it hard to create with other than that. Just sold it. Yeah. I use it specifically to cut out stamped or printed images. And I think that's why a lot of people buy it, because you can create something, scan it in, and cut it out, which is fantastic. Especially if you don't like to fussy cut. Have a scan and cut. I don't know everything about it. Like to stamp on paper and then cut them out. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't this a pretty cut file? I really love it. It's really, really pretty. This is from Paige Evans, by the way. I use it for scanning stamped images. This way I don't have to buy the dies. And Jennifer, that's a really good point, because metal dies can be very expensive, like super expensive. And so if you have a machine that's able to scan your images and cut it, then you can save yourself some money there. My mom has the Brother Scanning Cut. I think you can actually scan your metal dies and get your machine to cut them out. Then it means they can also be resized. Really? Huh. Interesting. Question, is that a standard mat? So yes, this is a standard 12 by 12 mat for this machine. And they have different mats. This one's called the light grip mat. And then they have just, I guess, their regular grip. I don't know what it's called. I think it's green. The machine comes with a light grip when you purchase it. At least my model did. And then I bought another one of these because I like to have a couple mats on hand. But this is the lightweight one. So yeah. Brother Scan and Cut is great for cutting out stamped images. Yeah, when you don't have the compatible dies. Love it for that. Otherwise, I find Cricut more user-friendly than other crafting. And that, when I was researching the newer models of Cricut, that's what I kept coming, a lot of people kept saying, is that they really, really love how easy it is. And after using this, I guess this is about my 12th time using this machine, just simply cutting out cut files. I haven't even touched everything that you can do on this machine. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be using it a whole lot. I've got some potential projects that are be coming up pretty soon for Kingston Crafts whenever the new line is released. And so I'm going to be using it for some projects for that for sure. So it's helpful to at least know some of the base functions of this machine, and it looks like it's really easy to learn. Whereas Silhouette, when I first got it, it took me a while to actually get used to how the software was laid out and understanding what each of the different options and stuff were in terms of the features and the tools and all that good stuff. Um, so yeah, I found it. I'm finding it to be more user friendly than my Silhouette. But there are folks that I know, I'm gonna have to clean this mat off here in just a few, that really love the Silhouette, but they also are really good at figuring out all the techie stuff too. So there's that. I like just straight out the gate. Like, I just want to be able to create straight out the gate. I don't want to have to think that hard about it, but I do take my time to learn my machine. If I'm going to invest the money, then definitely. Let's see. Make sure you use the close to my heart white on a mat that's not very tacky. I wonder, will it rip easily, Sandra? Is that what you're referring to? Carolyn has, let's see, Cricut Expression, Pazzles? What's Pazzles? Cricut Air 2, Scan and Cut. I have a problem. Poor Carolyn. She has a device problem. Bye, Sarah. Says, I have a Silhouette with the Pick Scan mat. Yes, you can scan your stamped image and cut it. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe the Cricut will do this too. I know the Cricut has a print and cut option. I haven't played with that yet. But I sure will. Yeah. It was new and complex. Yeah, I get that, Sandra. I love the Silhouette over the Cricut, but I feel it's only because I had the Silhouette first. And you know what? I for the longest time I used the Silhouette, and I'm like, oh, I think it's just more superior than the Cricut. And then Cricut came out with all its models and its technology, definitely caught up. And I'd say I really like this. I really like my Explorer 2 for sure. Alrighty, so this was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing this and experimenting with the Cricut and just kind of getting a feel for it, because sometimes you just have to, slow down, learn your machine, figure out its functions, that type of thing. And you guys have been very helpful too, because I know a lot of you have used the Cricut for a while and have learned its features and all that good stuff. So there we go. All right, so that's all I got for today's live. I hope that you enjoy this format of the live streams of me testing things out and learning new things here in real time. So let me know in the comment section if you enjoyed that. We'll be back next Wednesday, and I'll have a project there using Cricut. I'm going to continue to explore this and maybe play with some of the different options that are in the software, learn what they do, maybe weld something, I don't know, figuring that out. And so, yeah, that was a lot of fun. Join me this weekend for National Scrapbook Day. I'm going to have a video posted here on the YouTube channel. It's going to be about crafting and creating. I'm going to be using this cut file on a 12 by 12 layout. Can we see that? I'm going to use that on a 12 by 12 layout, so make sure you join me for that. And make sure you stay tuned for all the information about how you can get on board with Victoria Marie merch that launches this weekend for National Scrapbook Day. You'll get 10% off your purchase. I'll have a coupon code. Make sure you sign up for my newsletter so you can get all the information. I'm getting ready to send out some stuff tonight or in the morning, one of the two, so you'll have that information on where you can get the merch. And then I will be announcing, once the aprons are ready for pre-order, I'll be announcing that information here in a few weeks. Hopefully, we're hoping to get those out by June. Other than that, the t-shirt, the tote, right? We've got a mug, we've got a sticker, we've got a few other things that will be in the shop. So make sure you check that out. Scrapbook Like a Boss. Make sure you grab it. I'm so excited about this. This is just so much fun. This has been in the works for quite a while. Shout out to Mandy Ford, who designed this image. Absolutely love it. Until next time, guys, I'll see you on my socials. Make sure you subscribe to the newsletter. Make sure you subscribe to my blog. Stay in the know. Follow me on my socials. If you haven't already subscribed to the Victoria Marie YouTube channel, click the bell. That way you'll be notified each and every time I go live here on the channel or post new content. Would love to have you as a subscriber. And as always, thanks so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.